And welcome back, guys, to another video, and we're going to do the day before and so many answered questions. Now, I'd like to thank IGN because these are all clipped from their YouTube channel. So yeah, the first part is obviously what we've heard, the guy called Oliver Frost talking in the radio about basically the day before. But now some people have said that they're actually afraid of this game, that it couldn't be real. I think people should just basically stop. Because if it comes to console pick it up. Well, it is coming to console, Xbox, PS5, but don't worry. Because even though they're a small company, Matona and Fantastic, with console picking them up, it's going to be big things. I agree that it's going to be The Division meets State of Decay meets The Last of Us, and maybe Dead Side, if there's AI combatants rather than zombies. So yeah, I wouldn't be skeptical of this game. I would just go along with, yeah, it looks real. Well, it is real, because of the in-game footage, but just don't hedge your bets, just be positive for the outcome. And yeah, this is the day before. Now, I've rearranged the clips. I think I've put them in the wrong order. But yeah, this reminds me sort of State of Decay-ish with the sort of vehicles and stuff. The map size we're yet to see, obviously. But we do have until, is it the 22nd when the beta is, to see what kind of size we're going to get. But judging by like the landscape, judging by that radio tower over there on the bridge, I'm thinking it could be fairly big, because you've got inner New York, you've got the outskirts, you've got the farm area as well. But yeah, this is one of me and my friends are actually keen to really get into this game. And the only PC game I play is Football Manager, but I'm seriously going to give this a play on when it comes to full beta release. That reminds me of State of Decay as well. I think the first one with the crashed plane. Everything looks good. I mean, the lighting looks good. I mean, I know this is like the Division's closed door for the car. You got the mud physics, which looks really, really cool. I wonder if you were the player, you could trudge through that. But yeah, it just looks, it's basically, the company says, it just looks fantastic. There was another reservation what I have with these questions, is obviously this is a lootable area. And obviously he's parked up his truck and car and jeep and whatever else. But does that mean, is it a real lootable area? So if we left to go to the farmland, which you'll see later on, can we log in the next day and go back to this location, and then there'll be real lootable items here? That is one of the that's one of the questions I'm interested to know. I'd hope it'd be, again, like a Dead Side, like a Daisy, that once the area is looted in that game, then obviously no other people can go to it. But then when you log out and log back in, if there's like a restart or something like that, you can come back to this area and reloot it again. Because in the Division, it never let you do that. Locations, like if you found the crate, you had no reason to go back to it. Whereas this, I'm hoping, will be, like I said, there's at the truck stop here, he's round the back. They go in the building, they loot up like the fridges and the shopping register. And I'm wondering, like I said, hopefully we'll be able to log out somewhere else and then remember the location on the map and be like, oh, you remember that truck stop? And go back and you can reloot the area. So relootable locations is a thing for me. That's one of the things I'm keen on. I mean, again, like the back of the truck. He goes in, looks the back of the truck, gets like a soda can or something, and then do like the next day, if people haven't been there, can we go back and reload that location? Inventory system's very dead-sidey as well, with the primary gun and the pistol and obviously the clothing and stuff, which seems very, very crisp. There is a clip coming up, which is another question I'm going to put forward, is logging out. Now when we see, I think it's in the next clip, but when you see the guy rolling up his bedroll in a house, does that mean that we can log in and out if we've got the bedroll, like a sort of 7 days to die sort of thing, where if you've got your bedroll you can place it on the floor and maybe that's where you respawn again if you die? Maybe it's permadeath where you have to do a new character. So again, this is just a so many questions thing, because it showed you obviously the social hub in one of the trailers, and I'm thinking that's maybe the start. You get to create your character there and then you leave the social hub. But then it shows you that little building, and I remember the video because it was the guy that's got the ghillie suit. And they are all in a house, there's like 3 people in the house. And he rolls up his bedroll. Again, I'm re-speaking it. Does that mean that if you have a bedroll, like he's got in the bottom of his pack, do we put that down, and that is our logging out area? Or is it where you respawn after you die? Now, I don't think so, because if you die, which we saw in another trailer, which I think was the very, very first one, you saw one of the characters in the store getting killed, and you stole his clothes and his guns and everything, and then it's like a naked body. So I'm thinking now there could be permadeath. And then obviously you would create a new character. Again, there are similarities with the driving and the lighting, which looks stunning. Being kind of state of decay-ish. It's not even a word, but I'm trying. But yeah, I get the understanding with the movement. The look from the Division with the characters. The vehicular stuff is S.T.A.L.K.E.R, and the sort of inventory, dead-sidey, Last of Us-y. There's like a whole range of survival games in there that you'll probably spot. And other people have probably said it, and I'm like way too late in the day, obviously. But this is just my, like, what questions they would have. Again, the farmland stuff. I was watching another video, and I can't remember who it was, so I apologise. But they're obviously going to loot the house, and then a police car, and another truck turn up, and they said it was AI. Now, I'm remembering the Dead Side had AI, sort of military people and all that kind of stuff. Now, if there's AI in the game, like NPCs, not zombies, I would be okay with that. But it would still need to have a fair amount of players in the map to, like, combat the PvE, PvP stuff. Because with just having zombies as the AI stuff, I mean, as an MMO survival game, so you would expect infected zombies, whatever you're going to call them. But I wouldn't mind if Because in another trailer you see a guy shooting at a Humvee with military gear on, like a boonie hat and military clothes. Now, I don't mind if there's like a military compound and you can kill the military AI NPCs and get the gear off them. I don't mind that. But again, they need to combat the NPC characters. Again, not zombies, the NPC characters with the other players. So it'd make it, so if you're at a military base, other players are at a military base, and the AI is focusing on you and the other players, it's like the zombies that would aggro them to like tell you if there's other players about, which A can help and B is for me it would be a good thing. So if that happens, that would be pretty, I'd be happy with that. Now this is the part where we see, I think, the police car coming in. Again, somebody said that it was random NPCs. Again, I thought it was players, but if it is that, if it's random NPCs coming out of nowhere, I wouldn't mind it. But because they say it's an MMO and it's PvP focused, it'll be the players. So yeah, again to that question, if he has his bedroll, could he, you know, put it in one of the rooms and lay it down, and then like in here, just say you've got your bedroll and you place it on the, it's a very creepy place this, you could place it on the floor, and is that where you could log out rather than a social hub? Because if you log out here and then you log in the next day and it puts you in the social hub, then you've probably lost a few hours of game time. If you were like, say, in the city, then you're in the suburbs, and it'd just be kind of weird. So yeah, there's the people turning up, and then they go to the bunker. And there was like the code they picked up for the petrol station, gas station, truck stop, whatever you want to call it. Now again, I think these locations are meant to be special locations. Find a key card, tells you where to go, and then you get like some epic gun or something. Which would be kind of cool. Because every game should have that sort of thing. And then I think we just fade to black. Now the next trailer is the one when we're in New York.
Welcome to the short gameplay demonstration trailer for the
This is actually the first trailer. I thought the other one was the first trailer, but I think this is the first trailer. Again, the lighting, the sort of roads and everything is very, very, again, people have said it, Division-y. And I don't mind that, because Division 1 was one of the best games. Down the bottom of the left you can see your temperature meter, I think yes, your food and your water. Which again, apart from the food and water, in the Division was basically survival. But every other survivor MMO has a food, if I would have kept the beanie myself, a food, energy and water level.
Tell her everything's all right.
So yeah, that's in there. Again, the looting of the cars and stuff, very S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Even if you have S.T.A.L.K.E.R, just go in and just play it a little bit, and I think you'll get a feel for how the day before is going to be.
Let's find some fuel and go.
Look at that, the lighting. I mean, in the Brooklyn Bridge up at the back. Okay, again, another question. Are how many buildings are going to be enterable and lootable? And I mean, we all know. Like later in the video, he goes to the skyscraper, and you see him pointing at the staircase. Now, does that mean we get to the roof? Because in one of the trailers way back, when the Division first came out, it showed you players on the roof. Games like these kind of games, and this is where it looks like they're fighting against AI, as somebody said in a video.
Oh shit.
Um,
Got company.
but the way they're moving, it definitely looks like AI, but it probably is PvP because it's probably just they've told the other players to can act like, well, basically AI. But that's the way it like feels. And this is the bit I was talking about. If it's permadeath and you get to steal the clothes and stuff, what does that mean for your character? Does that mean you go back to the social hub? Does that mean you have to create another character?
Dude, there's too many of them. I gotta go upstairs.
Like every other sort of survival game, again, like Daisy. I don't know about Dead Side. I haven't played much of Dead Side. And then, as you can see in the bottom left, the temperature drops. Like survival, you've got like dynamic weather. Well, even in the main game, you've got dynamic weather. But if Division had the realization, this is what the Division should have been. Apart from the zombies, I don't mind that. But it should have been like a full-blown open-world dark zone.
That was close.
And there's the crafting menu, which looks very Last of Us-y, with the bandage and the scopes and what you saw in the last bit, the car kits. So you know we're in the skyscraper, which is very, very atmospheric. And very, 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 very creepy. But this is the door I was talking about. I think you can get to the roof if you go through that door. So does that mean there could be aerial vehicles on the roof?
Where are you?
Get to fly, maybe? I'm sorry if you can hear my cat, she's going mental. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing. Are there going to be other vehicles than Jeeps, trucks, Humvees, little cars? Now this is the one I was talking about. Look, he rolls up his bedroll right there. Now there's Ghillie Suit Gary, as I call him. And now that's green, is that a locked door? Now he's putting his kit away. Is this where you log in after logging out from the previous day or night or a couple hours when you played? Is that the thing? Does that bedroll have an impact on like a day before? If you place it somewhere, that is where you log in the next day? Or is that where you, like if you die, that's where you respawn, sort of thing? Again, this is just my opinion spurting out. This is why it's called Many Questions to be Answered. I might not call it that, but that's the thing. I mean, lootable vehicles again. Downtown New York. Again, the way... I'm going to call them other players because it is PvP focused, but the way the other players there are acting, it looks like AI. Again, I am not fussed about that. If there's a little bit of AI, but like I said, they need to combat it with having a decent amount of players in the server. Because I've watched a few people play Dead Side, and there is AI in that at like specific locations. Like here, there's like a checkpoint, and I've seen. See, this reminds me of the Division. So when you knock someone, they're crawling on the ground. Whereas this one, it could be another player who's lost health, and then you just go up and push, like, I think it was a right stick on console. Hello, motherfucker! So that could be like a finisher move there. And this is obviously was the second to last one we got at the end of last year. Which again, are all those buildings enterable, lootable? Make it as a apartment, as your little base. You've got the outskirts. You've got, look at that distance, if you can go that far. This is the social hub. I'm thinking this is a character creator base as well. I don't know what the rest and recuperation thing is. I'm thinking that's where you make your character. See, everybody looks different, which I love. I hate how the game looks very, very... Again, everybody's different looking. That street reminds me of the Division. Well, it does because it's New York. I mean, I love the backpack. Again, it's got his bedroll there. Again, could you even log out here, do the shopping mall, log out in the shopping mall, and then log back in the next day? So many questions to be answered. And we've only got until, this is January to June. We've only got 4 or 5 months to go. There's got to be a lot of details coming out in the next couple of months for the guys at Fantastic and Matona. But the way this looks, and I'm actually proud it's actually coming to console, because I'd have been rather jealous if it didn't come to console, but you never know, they might have cross-platform stuff. Again, there was a couple items in that there that looked like junk. And in one of the videos it said, oh, this is Woodbury Community, where you can go and you can either deconstruct items, buy items, sell items. So there's going to be like a trader city, I think. Again, very Division-y. I think Deadside had a trader thing as well. I'm not gonna lie, this backpack does look sweet, but I prefer the other backpack. A, it looks bigger, and B, let's go to the bedroll. Base customization. Now, I don't know if this was a random building or it was a built building, but does that mean there's going to be like a base progression system? That's your standard Last of Us looking crafting thingy. Because I'd love there would be a base where it's like, I have a base, or my friend has a base, and you're like, oh, let's log into the game, and then I log in at Social Hub, I'll meet him somewhere, and then he takes me to his base, and then you're part of that community, that part of the base. That'd be kind of cool. Again, the Humvee looking thing. This is where I saw the guy with the military gear. Okay, maybe not this one. Okay, maybe the next one. Look at that, Xbox Series X and S. Oh no, this is just the creepy ending. This is where I added the McReynolds stuff in, because the character has nothing. He just has a pistol, he has not warm clothing, but he has like a sort of lesser backpack, which would probably be about 10-15 slots. Now, is this the starter, how your character is going to be? I mean, you're going to obviously customize him, but is this the way your character is going to start off with basically nothing, and then that's going to be like your adventure started? I hate the way that clown laughs. So yeah, that was it. That was my thoughts and questions about the game.
The day before.